Last day of my training week is an acceleration focused day. So we're gonna do some sprints, we're gonna do some lifts that are gonna promote acceleration, and that's gonna be it. Let's get to it. Before any sort of lifts or sprints, we gotta do the prep. So first prep exercise, hamstring isos. Almost every time I do a running day, we're doing this exercise. Lift up, get your hips as high as you can. Hold in this position. Driving my heel down as hard as I can. Lifting my hip up as high as I can. You'll feel this in the hamstring. Holding for 30 seconds, 2 sets each side. Prep exercise number 2 is going to be an ATG split squat. So the goal is to open up this front hip. In a wide stance, a little bit wider than you think. Straighten this back leg. Drive your knee forward. Feeling that stretch in this front hip. I'm okay if your heel comes up or stays down. Either one. Holding at the bottom, getting the stretch here. Driving back up out of it. 2 sets, 5 to 8. And then we're moving on to the next exercise. Prep's a little bit longer. We got 5 exercises today. So exercise number 3, hip 90-90. Chest up, we're doing this hand supported. So my hips are a little tight, so it just helps to do a hand supported. You're gonna come to one side, chest up, and then keeping your body in this position, you're gonna open this hip as much as you can. As soon as you can't, bring this hand over, roll slowly back to the other side again. Up slow, roll it over. Too many people just see doing this. This is better than nothing, but you're not getting the most out of it. Just like lifting, just like any exercise, it's all about the intent you put into it. A little bit interesting camera angle here, a little bit interesting setup, but I'm doing a seated calf raise. We don't have a gym. We have a gym. I'm in a gym. We don't have a seated calf raise in this gym. So I do it on the Smith machine. So put a dumbbell, so my toes are elevated, lifting it up, and then, whoa. Then it's just a seated calf raise. Let it push me into a stretch, and up. Going controlled on the way down, holding the stretch, nice and strong on the way up. Last exercise of prep, Tib Raises. So with the calf raise, we're doing the back of the leg. This, we're doing the front of the leg. So again, I'm gonna let it pull me into a stretch. I'm gonna pick my toe up all the way, hold it for a second, control down. Both of these exercises, doing 2 sets. Again, I do 2 sets of almost everything, especially in prep because you don't need a lot of volume. I'm doing anywhere from like 5 to 15, maybe even 20 reps, depending on how it feels. Now we're to the fun stuff. I got my weightlifting belt here. I got a strap attached to it, and that strap attached to the sled. So we got 4 sled sprints. When you're training for maximal output, whether that be speed, strength, or power, you got 2 things that you got to make sure you're prioritizing. Number 1 being intensity. You got to be training at maximal or really near maximal intensities, doing speed, plyometric strength training if you want to build that adaptation. Next thing is going to be rest. If you're pushing it, you're not going to be able to do that every minute, every 30 seconds. At that point, you're just doing conditioning work. So right now, just finished my first sled sprint. Since sled sprints aren't too taxing, I'm taking 2 minutes in between rest. If this was like a full sprint, it would be more like 4 to 5 minutes in between. A big mistake I see with sprint mechanics is a lot of people will think they need to drive their arms up and drive their knees up in order to generate power. You got to think of it as the opposite. It's more important to drive your legs down and drive your arms down. So if you produce power down into the ground, it propels you forward. Another tip when it comes to acceleration training, meaning the first like 10 to 20 meters about, is you want to stay low. So imagine you're running under a very short roof. So if you stand upright fast, you're not going to produce as much power. You want to stay low, nose to the ground, chest to the ground, and push behind you, and don't build up till about 20 meters ish. Sprints are done. Prep is done. Now I get to do what I really like to do, which is lift. So snatches, cleans, and a couple jumps in between. Bar. Um, yeah, let's get to it. Ugh, these straps are so hard to get on. So in between sets of snatches, I'm gonna do a couple of what's called anticipatory facilitated shock jumps. I just like to call it shock jumps. But basically, instead of just doing a normal jump, you're gonna pick your feet up, attack the ground, and then jump. Oh. Oh. First set of those is always a little rough. Felt pretty decent. I'm happy with 175 for today. But now we're moving on to cleans, clean and jerk specifically. Oh, all of our bars are Rogue Ohio bars, powerlifting bars. So if you see, they got the knurling right here. So it just destroys my neck every time. All right, last of the day. Cool with 245 today. 30 pounds lighter than last week. That's cool. You don't need to go up every week. That is it today. I'll get a little stretch in, but that's it for the workout vlog. If you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you watching. Leave it a like, subscribe. More content like this coming out weekly. And let me know in the comments what's more of like you'd like to see. Have a great day. See you next time.